research team placed a 3-week-old kitten in front of a Rottweiler. The dog had never encountered a cat before. It had not been socialized with smaller animals. But what the dog did next was unexpected. The dog lowered its head, and it lay down, and began licking the kitten in slow, careful strokes. The kitten crawled between its front legs and fell asleep. So does he know it's a baby? So they tried it again. This time, with a baby rabbit. Then a duckling. Then an orphan fawn. Every time results came as the same. The dog relaxed its body, softened its posture, and did something gentle with the mouth to kill with a single reach. The dog was not trained to do this. It was not rewarded. The question no one on the team could answer clearly was how it knew. How a dog with no exposure to any of these species could look at each of them and arrive at the same conclusion, that it's a baby, and I should not hurt it. And here's the explanation to this. Almost every infantile feature looks the same across every species, whether it's a puppy, a human infant, or a baby seal. The eyes sit too large for the head too large for the body, the forehead pushes outward, and these proportions are not a coincidence. They are signals. So what's actually going on inside the brain when this happens? Researchers at the University of Oxford put people inside a brain scanner and showed them photos of baby faces. Within 140 milliseconds before the person even fully processed what they were seeing, the reward center of the brain lit up. The brain was treating baby faces like something to move toward, protect, take care of, and it was doing it before the person had any say in the matter. The decision to care was being made before the subject was fully aware of what they were looking at, and the key part. The response didn't require the baby to be human. The proportions alone were enough. You can't put a wild leopard in a brain scanner. But the way animals behave is the same. This system isn't just in us. It runs possibly in every mammal alive. A female leopard in Kruger National Park killed a baboon in a marula tree. Normal hunt. But when the body fell, something came with it. A baboon infant, about 2 weeks old. A safari guide named Ryan Sobey recorded what happened next. Over several hours, the leopard came down, walked to the infant, and picked it up in her jaws. But not the way sheep bite prey. She used the carry bite. Just enough pressure to hold, not enough to break skin. She carried the baboon infant into a thicket, set it down, and began grooming it, licking its fur in long, slow strokes. The infant crawled toward her belly and attempted to nurse. The leopard allowed it. By morning, the infant had died of exposure. Baboon infants need near constant warmth in the first weeks of life, and the leopard's body couldn't give it that. But she stayed beside it through the night. When hyenas came close, she picked it up and moved it further away. This wasn't the first time. Leopards in the greater Kruger region have done this with baboon infants on at least 3 separate occasions. The baboon isn't her offspring. It doesn't share her genes. It can't return the favor. Every calorie she spent protecting it was, by every biological metric, wasted. And yet she keeps doing it. Something about the infant, the way it moves, is hitting something deep enough in the leopard's brain to override the predator that was working perfectly minutes earlier. It's not just how babies look. It's also how they sound. Baby distress cries across mammal species are shockingly similar. High-pitched, short, repeated bursts. The pitch rises at the end. In 2014, researchers at the University
A research team placed a 3-week-old kitten in front of a Rottweiler. The dog had key part. The response didn't require the baby to be human. The proportions alone were enough. You can't put a wild leopard in a brain rises at the end. In 2014, researchers at the University of Winnipeg ran a simple test. They hid speakers in the wild and played recordings of baby cries, but not from the species living there. They played baby first seal cries to deer, human baby cries to marmots, animals that had never heard these species in their lives. Every time, the adults came to the speaker. Every single time. They'd never even encountered the species making the cry, but something it can't return the favor. Every calorie she spent protecting it was, by every biological metric, wasted. And yet she keeps doing it. Something about the infant, the way it moves, is hitting something deep enough in the leopard's brain to override the predator that was working perfectly minutes earlier. It's not just how babies look, it's also how they sound. Baby distress cries across mammal species are shockingly similar. High-pitched, short, repeated bursts. The pitch rises at the end. In 2014, research
In 2014,
researchers at the University of Winnipeg ran a simple test. They
ran a simple test.
hid speakers in the wild and played recordings of baby cries, but not.
They hid speakers in the wild and played recordings of baby cry.
Not from the species living there.
But not from the species living there.
They played baby first seal cry.
They played baby first seal cry.
As to deer, human
is to deer.
Baby cries to marmots.
Human baby cries to marmots.
Animals that had never heard these species.
Animals that had never heard these.
In their lives. Every
species in their lives.
Time the adults came to the speaker. Every
time the adults came to the speaker.
Single time.
Every single time.
Never even encountered the species making the cry, but something.
They'd never even encountered the species making the cry.
Something about the sound, the pitch.
But something about the sound.
The rhythm, the desperation in it was close.
The pitch, the rhythm, the desperation.
Enough. The mammal brain.
And it was close enough.
Brain isn't asking, is this my baby? It's.
The mammal brain isn't asking, is this my baby?
Just asking, is this a baby? But listen.
It's just asking, is this a baby?
Listen to this. Recognize
But listen to this.
recognizing a baby and caring about it are not the same thing. Now,
Recognizing a baby and caring about it are not the same thing.
here's the disturbing part.
Now here's the disturbing part.
Male langur monkeys commit
Male langur monkeys commit
infanticide at rates that have been documented across populations in India. For over 50 years. When a new male takes over a group, he systematically kills the existing infants.
He systematically kills the existing infants.
Not because he fails to recognize them as babies.
Not because he fails to recognize them as babies.
Because he does.
Because he does.
Infants are not his.
The infants are not his.
As long as they are alive and nursing, the females are reproductively unavailable,
As long as they are alive and nursing, the females are reproductively unavailable.
The infants brings the females back into estrus.
Killing the infants brings the females back into estrus.
The male can then sire his own offspring.
Back into estrus. The male can then sire his own offspring.
Knows exactly what a baby is.
He knows exactly what a baby is.
Understands what killing it means.
He understands what killing it means.
Detection system is working perfectly.
The detection system is working perfectly.
The difference is what happens after that recognition.
The difference is what happens after that recognition.
Leopard, recognizing a baby triggers protection.
In the leopard, recognizing a baby triggers protection.
The animal becomes gentle, careful, almost nurturing, but in
The animal becomes gentle, careful, almost nurturing.
male langur,
But in the male langur,
same recognition leads somewhere completely different.
that same recognition leads somewhere completely different.
It triggers reproduction.
It triggers reproduction.
Recognition, but opposite results. And it's not
Same recognition, but opposite results. And it's not just langurs that do this.
just langurs that do this. Male lion have been documented killing cubs after taking over a pride.
Male lions have been documented killing cubs after taking over a pride.
Dolphins have been seen attacking and killing calves.
Dolphins have been seen attacking and killing calves.
Bears do it too. In some chimpanzees,
Bears do it too.
chimpanzee populations, females
In some chimpanzee populations,
have even been observed killing and eating the infants of rival females.
Females have even been observed killing and eating the infants of rival females.
Only works because they can accurately recognize an infant in the first place, but
This only works because they can accurately recognize an infant in the first place.
instead of triggering care,
But instead of triggering care,
recognition can also trigger competition. And
that recognition can also trigger competition.
And here's something even more interesting.
And here's something even more interesting.
A primatologist named Jill Prutz once watched
A primatologist named Jill Prutz once
a group of chimpanzees in Senegal take in a young chimp from a completely different group.
Taken a young chimp from a completely different group.
They did something different.
But they did something different.
Groomed him, fed him, kept him close.
They groomed him, fed him.
Almost like he already belonged there, but he
kept him close, almost like he already belonged there.
He didn't. He had no...
But he didn't.
relation to any of them. He
had no relation to any of them.
Came from another group entirely, and
he came from another group entirely.
Yet the females still accepted him. He was...
And yet, the females still accepted him.
Too young to be a threat. Even
he was too young to be a threat. Even
though nothing in their biology said he should matter to them,
even though nothing in their biology said he should matter to them.
Something about him still registered as baby.
Something about him still registered as baby.
And they responded to it anyway.
And they responded to it anyway.
There are even documented cases of this happening.
There are even documented cases of
across completely different species.
This happening across completely different species.
We've seen dogs nursing kittens, cats.
We've seen dogs nursing kittens.
Raising rabbits, and even
cats raising rabbits.
Hens incubating duck eggs and caring for.
And even hens incubating duck eggs and
for the ducklings after they hatch.
Caring for the ducklings after they hatch.
Every one of these animals can tell the baby isn't theirs.
Every one of these animals can tell the baby isn't theirs.
And they care for it anyway.
And they care for it anyway.
Part of that comes down to hormones. In
Part of that comes down to hormones.
In mammals, baby-like features can trigger a caregiving response almost instantly, and then
In nursing mammals, baby-like features can trigger a caregiving response almost instantly.
and one animal learned how to exploit all of it.
And then one animal learned how to exploit all of it.
Common cuckoo. This bird.
The common cuckoo.
Bird sneaks its egg into another bird's nest. When the chick.
This bird sneaks its egg into another bird's nest.
Chick hatches, the first.
When the chick hatches, the first thing
it does is push the host's real eggs and babies out of the nest, so it
does is push the host's real eggs and babies out of the nest so it
gets all the food for itself.
Gets all the food for itself.
And it works. The host parent keeps feeding it like nothing happened.
And it works. The host parent keeps feeding it like nothing happened.
Day after day, the cuckoo grows. Within
day after day, the cuckoo grows.
in a week or two, it's 3 or 4 times bigger than the bird feeder.
Within a week or two, it's 3 or 4 times bigger than the bird feeder.